Christina, welcome to the cave. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Exciting times. I was telling somebody before I jumped in this interview. I don't even know where to start from you because you've had a busy career, 20 plus 20 plus years. Multiple projects. 70 show 90210, and if people do some research, both 90210s.
How about that? Yeah.
Without a paddle movie. Producing, acting. What's left? What's left on that bucket list?
Oh my God. You know what? I obviously am like ill prepared for this kind of media tour because I've been asked that and I'm like, I need a minute. I need like a good old fashioned winter break after this like December to remember. And then I will dream new dreams. I absolutely promise. I mean, I
And
feel
you,
like this Christmas I'm living a bucket list. Like
right?
it really is kind of it's an unbelievable just like a basket of fortunes going on.
And yeah, you have like two projects coming out. December 1st is one of them. December 14th is the other one. Was I know you started out in acting, but was producing always like part of that? You always wanted to be behind the scenes?
Oh, I started out in musical theater, and I think that there is a part of the theater that is a little bit always like behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, like all hands on deck, let's put on a play in a barn. Like there is a mentality for that.
Mm.
Um, no, I don't know that if you had talked to my 22-year-old self, like, you're going to be a producer one day, I'd have been like, you're hilarious. No way. It kind of came about in a weird way where I had done sketch, which is also like musical
Yeah.
theater. Like you write your own stuff, you produce your own stuff, you perform your own stuff. And that led me to do Mad TV. And then a couple years later, I co-wrote a script, and it involved a lot of things with horses and
Mm.
cowboys and things I had never known anything about. And when it came time to make the movie, I was like, you should let me produce it because I have all the contacts and I know all the cowboys. And my friend was like, but you don't know how to produce a movie. I'm like, there's a lot of things I've done that I don't know how to do, so I'll just figure it out.
Mm.
And that was like 7 years and 15 projects ago. So
Well,
I'm starting to figure it out now, a little.
what do you think has been your biggest accomplishment so far in your career?
Biggest accomplishment. Oh, I know. I think it's all the people that I've mentored,
Mm.
really, is the thing I'm the most proud of. So, because it's not just my accomplishment, like once I've mentored someone and then they go on to produce their own movies, or young actors that go on to be super mega stars. I mean, there's an entire crop of like hair, makeup, wardrobe people that I like wrote letters to get them into the union. So I think, is that, I guess, a legacy, right? That's what you call it. So it's not my accomplishments, it's like mine through the
Mm.
people I've nurtured, and where in the hell will they go? Everywhere.
Mm. You mentioned mentoring and like even the young people that jump into the industry. What's one advice you give them when they first start out?
Um, I, a lot of people come to me and say like, "Hey, how did you get started?" And I'm like, "I got started 150,000 years ago. Like we used to do paper headshots and send
Mm.
them in the mail." And I'm like, "Your greatest gift to yourself would be to find a community of people who are also at the exact same place you are, whether the same age or starting out. Like it's going to that acting class, it's being part of that like crew, because it's always a big community thing, which is something I've leaned into really hard. And the people who are doing it alongside you will have the best intel.
Mm.
Who's the best photographer? Where do you
Right.
go to do open mic? Like, all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome. So I mentioned, you got two projects coming out soon. December 1st, you have Hollywood Christmas that you produced that. That's coming out at HBO Max, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
How are you approaching out to work on this project?
This project was written by my husband
Okay.
and developed by our good friend Alex Ravello, who's the director. And it's something that we wrote. We call it our story hut. During the pandemic, once we knew we weren't going to hurt each other by hanging out outside.
Right.
um, my husband would write, and then we would get together and read it out loud. And that joke sucks, or that one's really working, or I think I'd like to do this or that. And kind of we were approached because we've had a long-standing relationship with the WB, and that is now HBO Max. And they said, "Do you guys have any Christmas movies in the drawer?" We're like, actually, we do. So that's, I mean, yeah, it came about through a lot of time spent in locked in your house.
Wow, wow. How did you were you part now once you started getting the project going, were you part of the casting also? Like how did you guys cast the perfect Jessica and Christopher?
Thank you. Yes. Well, Christopher is one of our company, ESX Entertainment's long-standing superstars. He was the star of a California Christmas with his wife
Okay.
Lauren Swickard. So he was attached to the project off the bat. Jessica Van just won us over, like in the old school way of auditioning and being just kind of totally perfect for it, and then just crushing it every step of the way.
Wow. What are you hoping for now, like when the viewers tune in December 1st to watch this? What are you hoping they get out of this movie?
Oh, I think it's a love letter to movie making. It's a little like Inside Baseball, it's a movie
Okay.
within a movie. So I know that they're going to have a good time. I know that there's a lot of great jokes in it, like a lot of heart. I mean, it's Christmas, right? But I
Right.
think that there's a ton of Easter eggs. We shot on the Warner Brothers back lot. So I feel like for people who love a holiday romance, you're going to be fine. But for people who love anything inside baseball, if Soap Dish was your favorite movie, if you
Mm,
love The Kid Stays in the Picture, like I really believe we've done a massive nod to the folklore of Hollywood.
mm. What do you think is the big fascination with Christmas movies, and what's your favorite Christmas movie or holiday movie?
A holiday movie, Elf all day
Okay.
long. That darn Will Ferrell. Like, is there a more talented fella alive? I think that I've learned a lot about, I mean, having made our company has 4 Christmas movies this season, and I've been involved in kind of all of them in varying degrees. I think that Christmas movies are about hope.
Mm,
The very concept of Christmas magic. And I think it's because people come to this time of year, maybe they're a little tired, maybe
right.
they're ready to kind of like, lay on the couch and drink some cocoa, and they want to be told hopeful, beautiful, warm stories. I think that's the key. They can have a big fat laugh. I mean, our director would argue that Die Hard is the greatest Christmas movie ever made. Um, but I also feel like even if that's true, yeah, it has heart. It's about
Mm,
family. It's always about a family finding love at Christmas, getting to that end of the year and having just like gooey, happy, warm feelings.
right, right. And of course, now the bigger project now is the one you started, I believe, in Santa. Netflix
I
1214.
believe. Thank you. Yeah. Woo woo. I believe in Santa. I mean, it's going to hit all the things I just talked about. It's a love story. It's about a couple that meets and has a really sexy, happy summer, only to smash into December. And is he ghosting her? What's happening? No, wait, huh? He's a Christmas maniac who believes in Santa Claus.
Which is played by
So
your husband.
it is played by my husband. Um, it's a little of like 40-year-old virgin, meets a Christmas love story. It's deeply personal for us. There's a lot
Mm,
of it that is ripped from our dating life and our married life and our kids' life. Um, but I think at the takeaway, it's about inclusion. I think
mm,
there's a lot about Christmas that is like goodwill for all men, and I think I don't know if you've heard, there's been a little bit of unrest here in
mm.
America as of late.
Right.
We didn't solve that problem since we wrote the script. And I think that the movie really, the central theme is like, how can you be in a relationship, in a friendship, in a community, and be with people who believe different things than you do, and just get on
Mm,
with it. Just love each other, and
right.
kind of who cares.
Was this project now this movie was it always to work with your husband in this movie?
Oh, we always have a dream, right? Like
Okay.
it's still the same story hut. So we
Mm,
write things and develop them. But you never know. I mean, we've done a lot of movies that we've found casts that we're like, oh, that's just better. That's great. That's different. The distributors will have a say in who gets to do stuff. So this is the first time that we
mm.
are we got to do it.
Right.
The whole
Did,
thing.
did you find like the between you two, like did you find it easy working with each other?
Yes, we do have a really fun time. I think we still really really like each other, which is
Yeah.
great. But we do have a couple rules. Like we never drive to set together
Okay.
because each of us has a very different like morning vibe process. We have our own trailers. My husband's like a professional nap taker and I'm not. So like that's its own thing. Um but yeah, I mean, yeah, we have a great time. I'm not even gonna. I mean, I could try to drum up some like drama for you, but there's not.
So in the film you play Lisa, what did you love about her? And how come she doesn't like Christmas?
I know, right, Lisa? Because I don't like Christmas. I mean, I'm starting to like Christmas after I've made like all these Christmas movies. I get it now, but traditionally, I find that, the flip side of the Christmas season is that it can be really stressful and tons of pressure. And did you buy the right thing? And did you go to the right party? And are you making it to mom's house and dad's house? And I think that makes people kind of crunchy and unhappy. Um, so I like that about Lisa. We have that in common. Um, the thing that I envy is that Lisa is a writer and she's like really clever and really good at it. And I would say I'm not a great writer.
Yeah. So now you got these two projects coming out. Now you mentioned you have two other Christmas movies that you've worked on. Where can we
So
see those and find those?
I know, right? Well, there's three. There's three on HBO Max. There is A
Yeah.
Holiday Harmony, which is a wonderful love story about a girl who is a singer who gets stuck in
Mm.
Holiday or Harmony Springs, Oklahoma. That's fun. Then there is A Christmas Mystery, also written by my husband, directed by Alex Ranerivello, that is two 11-year-olds to have to figure out who stole Santa's golden jingle bells.
Is
And
that
that
with Violet?
actually, it is
Okay.
Violet.
Yeah, the one that plays your daughter in this movie. Okay, the other movie, yeah.
That came about because we were shooting some pickup days in Mammoth. There's a sled race, and I believe in Santa. So we went up to a mountain, and John and Alex and I were driving up there. And John said, "Hey, Alex, what's a movie you've always wanted to direct, but you haven't?" And he's like, "Ooh, a kid mystery. I love that." And so John wrote it for Violet. That's
Wow,
why her character is called Violet.
that's awesome. So you've tackled all these Christmas movies. What's next now? I know you said you might take a little break. What's
Oh,
coming up
I'm
in the
definitely gonna
spring? Anything?
take a little break. Well, we've just written a Valentine's Day rom-com that is kind of like four weddings and a funeral. Like
Okay.
this same group of people always gets together on Valentine's Day, but it's because one of the children's name is Valentine's and it's his birthday. So I think that'll be like a really, really fun thing. We've got a bunch of other movies in the hopper, just depends on which ones will sell or which ones will go. Um, I mean, my wish is just to kind of keep I like the collaboration. I like the crowd, the group that we've put together. I mean, I'm in love with the wardrobe and the hair and the makeup and the production team and like any reason to get that squad back together. I can't really say no. I love it.
That's awesome. I was told to ask you, and I don't know if you could answer this. 90s show. We're gonna see you on this.
Right? Maybe.
There we go.
I
Christina,
mean, come on.
we have to see you on it.
You right? I mean, come on. What is Hori Lori doing right now? I mean, like I mean,
Right.
honestly, I feel like she's either like the Secretary of State or like is a Walmart greeter. And like either one, you would totally be like, yeah, of course, that's what Lori Foreman is doing in her grown-up life.
Christina, I want to end this by asking you, where can the listeners now, the viewers, find you on social media, keep up with all your projects and more things to come?
Oh, thank you. Instagram, I'm at Lady Christina Moore. Turns out there's a lot of Christina Moores, Christine Moores, C Moores, anything with a Moore as a last name. Fun fact, when I was in high school, there were two of us born on the exact same day with the
Wow.
exact same name, given the exact same driver's license number
Jeez.
until I got pulled over for blowing a stoplight and was almost going to be arrested because the other Christine Moore had like robbed something. And then they figured out there were two of us. So at Lady Christina Moore on Instagram.
That's awesome. Christina, I want to thank you for coming on, and I can't wait for these projects to roll out and everybody can see them.
Thank you. Thank you.